Hi everyone, McBeard here, back with another deck guide for you. It's Faction Challenge Week, which has monsters pitted against Nilfgaard. I am a stalwart monsters supporter, and I will not let these filthy Nilfgaardians take my border away. And they have such great champions like Mega Mogwai, but I'm hoping that I can at least kind of outvote his votes and do my best here to beat up on Nilfgaard and do what we can with monsters. But I'm trying a lot of different monsters decks this week. I'm very serious about the border, so I'm actually playing exclusively monsters decks until this faction challenge is over. So if you want to see monsters, come by the stream. We're trying all sorts of stuff. And one of the ones I wanted to try was a Relic deck. And there's a lot of different variations you can approach with this one. This is my version as it stands right now. It's Dagon as the leader because it's a Siri Nova list and I'm running 2 Foglets. Also, I think weather generally is okay. It's still okay. I mean, Fog is probably in a bad spot. Dagon is not very represented, but part of the fun of climbing up to 4K on a season reset when you've been away for a week and sick for a week before that is that the pack has moved on. You get a lot of interesting games and you can kind of get away with murder with a lot of these games. So it's the best time to play a fun deck. So Dagon is a fun deck, I think, and this Relic list is very interesting. So the relics that you have in this list, Woodland Spirit is one of them. Woodland Spirit's still a very good card, applies weather, 3 wolves, and it pulls out the Foglet as well. This deck also runs Roach, so this is a pretty great play, and it's a great starting goal to have. Caretaker as well is just a really strong card. As a relic, it does also get the boost. Plus, you can disrupt some strategy. You can peel away a really good target from the graveyard. You can do lots of stuff. The Caretaker is just a really good card. Every time you play it, it's different, and I like cards like that very much. Weavis Incantation is, it works in 2 ways. Generally, you want to play this early because you have Roach. It's not the slowest play in the world. It is one of the slowest plays, though. But it does add about 12 to, hold on a second, let's actually get that right. It does add 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. It is 14, right? It adds 14 strength to the deck, plus its 4 strength itself. So it's kind of in a roundabout carryover way, an 18 strength gold, which isn't bad. Also, in a pinch, it can pull a relic. So that's really important. If you wanted to just, if you needed to get a fiend out, maybe you have a really bad draw, you have a handful of ghouls, and you need to get the fiends out, you're not too worried about that extra boost along your deck. You can pull a fiend out, then it becomes a 15-point play. I mean, Weavis is a little under the bar. One of the reasons why this deck isn't really taking off, there's not a lot of relic support, but if you can afford to play Weavis, this changes the game completely. It makes your Crones a 26-point play, and you're already running Siri Nova for 25 points, which means you can play Siri Nova round 1, play Crones in round 3, vice versa. It's really hard to fall behind with this deck, especially when you get a Woodland Spirit opener with Roach. You have the weather ticking. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do. Plus, you're dropping 13-point cards in Fiends. You have Ancient Foglets that are growing. Your ghouls are insane in round 3 with the 13-point consume. Just, it's very good, but it does have a very critical starting point that's tough. It's tough a little bit. You might not draw your golds. Frightener 2, really, just, you gotta have spies. I just think you need to have spies generally, especially when you run Siri Nova. Card advantage is very important. Roach is just for tempo generally. Aeromancer is an extra fog for your Foglets, and the Crones are the 26-point play. Also, you want to get the deck nice and thin so you get good draws. The Crones help with that, and the Slizzards and Reconnaissance also help here. Down to the bronzes, Siri Nova Core. You do have an 8 set of 2 ofs, because that's how you get Siri Nova to work. Fiends are very straightforward, 13-point drops, and they help with consumes with the ghouls later, making the ghouls a 17-point play. Very, very good stuff. The Ancient Foglets are actually fairly threatening. Starting at 10 isn't that bad when they are engines that are ticking. Getting Fog out isn't that hard when your leader has it, and you also have Aeromancy and Woodland Spirit on top of that. So finding 1 to 2 Fogs on a regular basis shouldn't be that hard, so sourcing both of your Foglets should also not be that hard. Foglets don't go away when Fog is removed. Getting an extra Foglet out on a Fog play is like having an extra Roach in a roundabout way, so it is pretty damn good. Drowners for the weather effects. Just because it's a Siri Nova list, you want to find as many bronzes with synergy as possible. I think the Drowners are pretty good here. Cockatrice is an interesting one. This is really for the Nilfgaard matchups that I'm expecting to see, because I'm expecting to see Impera Brigades coming out, and they tend to grow a lot in a long round. I want a long round because I'm running weather, so the Cockatrice kind of deals with that. Not super strong. I've talked to some people. They think that this isn't even a worthwhile inclusion. I haven't felt like it's really won me any games. This is very flex. The spot is very flex. Feel free to use something that you like. I am trying Cockatrice out, but it may not be the best card. I'll say that this particular slot is definitely open. Slizzard helps you thin a little bit more. It's tough running Slizzard in a Nova list, but I'm doing it anyway because you want this to be nice and thin. You want to have premium draws like Siri Nova. A lot of these cards thin. Getting the Foglet out, Slizzard helps get stuff out. Reconnaissance helps you get the bronzes you don't have yet. Reconnaissance, in my opinion, is a must-have in a Siri Nova deck. Roach is already flying out of the deck. Generally, you're going to have a fairly thin deck. You might have some games where Siri Nova is the last card in your deck, and that sucks, but that is the sad tale of Siri Nova. I had a lot of fun with this deck. I'm still working on tweaking it, but if you want to approach Relics, this is kind of a starting point, I think. I like the Siri Nova plus Crohn's package, making it so you always have incredible ways to come back, because sometimes playing stuff like Weavis, it's a little slow, so you need to be really, really fast on your feet, as this deck can be. Let me know if you like the video, like and subscribe. It's great to be back home. I'm back for a while now, so you can expect lots of videos. After this upload, there will be the Commander's Horn podcast, which we recorded today, talked all about the faction battle. May the best faction win, and that faction hopefully is Monsters, because I want that border. It's going to look great with Aridin, I think. What do you think? I think so. Thanks again, everybody. Enjoy the gameplay. I'll see you later. All right, guys, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. I got a good feeling about this one. YouTube exclusive.
We do what must be done.
We're climbing still, right? We're still climbing? I was gone for a week. I was sick for a week. I missed a lot of time. Let's see. So Mulligan, swap maybe. I wonder if we should keep one of these just in case. I don't think we keep both of them. We definitely don't keep this. I don't know if I want to even keep the crone necessarily. I think I mulligan the crone and I mulligan one of the cockatrices. Ancient Foglets are good for pushing around one. Hopefully we mulligan to something that generates fog, like Aeromancer or Woodland Spirit. That would be good. Oh, we end up with the crones anyway. That's fine, at least. You avoid situations where you mulligan into crones, and that's not what you want at all. Not at all. Ah, support. Okay. We can actually... we can afford to play Weavis here because of Roach. So I think we're just going to play Weavis to boost all of our stuff. Because having Siri Nova in deck, you can play Crones early, or you can play Siri Nova early and then Crones late. Like, you have a lot of opportunities here. So
I sense your pain. I see
that's the strength of it. Now, it's only other relics, so she herself does not get boosted. I think it'd be cooler if she got boosted, but that's just me. So this guy has a rough idea of what I'm trying to do, but not a perfect idea, I don't think. Dagon's 12 more points, it's really 14 points with the Fog Tick, and then the Ancient Foglets can drop.
Slaughter them to a man!
So we know he's going to be dropping boosted units. It's worthwhile. It's worth knowing. We'll just go ahead and fog this row. So we're in a position now where at least our engine's working now. So I'm not too concerned about what he's able to do at the end of the game, because what I can do is crazier, I think. But we'll see how it ultimately pans out. I think I might just Drowner this. But also playing the Ancient Foglet's pretty important. Ancient Foglet and then maybe Drowner. I don't really want to... If I move it, I take damage, so it's kind of like... You don't really get a lot of... It's not Frost, so actually moving it is a terrible idea. I take that back completely. But I will play the Ancient Foglet. Movement hand buff, Scoia'tael. Very interesting.
This is elven land, upon which your kind dies.
Do not have an answer for that specifically. That is a little tougher. That is a little more tough. But now I'm behind as well. So the Crones are still a pretty insane play. Also the Fiends are good too. So I might just go Fiend Crone. Fiend Crone pass, perhaps. Missing out on Woodland Spirit and Aeromancer is going to hurt me a little bit, but I think I can go Fiend Crone pass. It'll force out a hell of a play. The Crones might just be enough to push him out. We'll see. We will see.
May your sword and arm be one.
He's already playing Swordmasters, which means leads me to believe his hand is actually not very good. Cockatrice does knock 3 off of this. Doesn't make it any good, but it still can do that. I think it's probably going to be Crone. I could just play the Ancient Foglet now. I mean, I'm probably going to draw into Fog. I say probably, but there's no probability at all. I have a lot of bronze cards that I didn't draw. And but I want to thin maybe, so I think playing Crones is fine here.
We're all dressed up just for you.
Now this puts my opponent in a position where he probably can't make up the difference, so he's probably going to pass. Passing on even is great. If he plays a card, I pass anyway, and then we're up a card, which is also great, which is one of the great reasons about playing Crones 26 points and having Siri Nova for later. It's pretty good. So there's always that part that this deck has working for it. The fact that you can play Weavis with Roach makes it a little bit more, you know, it's not great. 8 points isn't great, but when you're opening, it's just a little bit better, especially when your opponent opens up slow like you. A lot of engine decks tend to open up slow.
Ho ho, I sense trouble.
Very interesting. It was a Nova deck all along, and we actually forced out the Nova in this situation. So that's actually cool enough. I was playing Nova. I would consider even playing Nova now. Now, at this point, I'm quite behind. If only there was a way Cockatrice could really get value here. From here on, it may be very, very difficult. It may be very difficult here to get ahead. But we might just try anyway. Because ultimately, we can just pass. So as long as we can get ahead, we should try to get ahead. So I'm thinking of playing like low commitment stuff. The Cockatrice is only gaining value with every turn, so it's probably just going to be the Drowner here because the Ghoul and the Slizzard are limited. The Ancient Foglet gets value, but I mean, the Ancient Foglet being played now is still good because it actually gets me ahead. So the Ancient Foglet is better than the Drowner. The Drowner, lower commitment. Maybe I'll just play the Drowner here. Oh, interesting how it has that reactivation of the gold effect. That's very odd. Very odd indeed. Ooh, Francesca, that's pretty slow. I can end up playing the Ancient Foglet here.
My folk have
If only I drew the Nova, or like Woodland Spirit, like a lot of the cards I could have drawn here, like anything that helped the fog along, would have been fantastic. Knowing that he's running these, though, he's running another one too. So Weather Clear isn't so bad. The Weather Clear isn't so bad. I guess they changed Foglets to not go away. They just don't go away anymore. I remember during the show match during Gwent Open this occurred, and I thought, is that right? I'll just play the Ancient Foglet now, because I can just stay ahead. So why not? We're in the advantageous position of going second. So
I shall not fail.
Okay, so this is 10. 8 points. The Cockatrice is actually enough to get ahead here because we get 9 points on this, 9 points on this. So we might just play the Cockatrice, and then ultimately he'll play one more card, and now we're going into a short round where I've got a Spy and potentially a way to deal with it, but not really. I took Succubus out of this deck, so the Cockatrice probably isn't going to get more value than this, unfortunately. But it puts us ahead. That's the main thing. But this would do it. Since he didn't remove any of my units, I can't really play Slizzard or Ghoul.
You're dead already.
And he's played 2 engine pieces here, so this is fine. We'll pass with a card up, 3 cards to 2. It's okay. It's okay. The fact that we got Siri Nova out of him is kind of huge. It's kind of massively huge, because we ourselves have Siri Nova. We played our Crones, which is like our second Siri Nova. It's a big investment in the deck building, but we'll see if it pays off here. I don't know if we saw necessarily what he picked up with Francesca. It might have actually been... we'll take this Cockatrice out, I think. I don't think we want to keep this. We can always get it with the Slizzard if we need to. Can't get a gold card, unfortunately. Just got Weavis. It's possible that our opponent just passes here. No, we'll just answer with our own Spy. It's good to have this flexibility. So we drop the Elven War Dancer and then doesn't pass. But that's fine.
I'd fail Menherius den Verde.
Reconnaissance is not a gold card, my friends. Not a gold card. Oh, the decoy. Well, he's never going to get ahead now, and I'm up a card. Very interesting. This guy has actually had all the answers he needed. He had big play on Crones. He had decoy for spy, but unlike summoning circle, he loses a lot of points in the process. I may end up being in a hero pass situation. I should play the fiend now though, because like, I mean, we have a fiend in the graveyard as well. We have 2 ghouls. Slizzard also is fine to play here because it thins. It thins, and I want to play like low commitment stuff. So I think the Slizzard is actually the low commitment stuff I want to play. And I think it might just end up being like the Cockatrice. The Drowner's a better draw. You know, it's what it is. What it is, right? It's gonna. We're gonna go on to even cards, though. That's really all he wants, right? He just wants even cards. So he's got the even card, but he doesn't have Siri Nova, and I could potentially draw into Siri Nova. Boy, I would love to do that. That would be great. That would be just fine. That's pretty good. So I mean, from here, what do you look at? I mean, this is probably the worst card. I think anything else is better than this. That's definitely better. So we have, this is eating a 10 and a 13, plus the 13 we play, plus Woodland Spirit is amazing. So the 13 is actually our lowest commitment play, so we'll happily lead off with this. First Unity plays, we likely just drop Woodland Spirit right on him. Knowing that we don't have to deal with Siri Nova is kind of huge, especially when we have Siri Nova ourselves, which is, it's really good. It's really good, guys. Pretty good target for Woodland Spirit in this situation because it's gonna die. It's gonna be enough turns to get full value. We had that second foglet here. Opponent's not happy. We had that second foglet. Ah, you had the answer to that one too. We knew that though. We knew he was gonna have that. But that's okay. That's okay. I mean, does he have Igni? Will it be enough? We're gonna find out. I think we might have the points we need, but there's a plan. He's had a plan this whole time. I just want to believe that the Crones ruined his plan. A lot of control here. I mean, that's a plan, but it's keeping us ahead here. An unexpected control variant here that has all the answers.
Now we will see who is weak.
All right, so we're up by 11. We're about to drop at 25. Gerald Igni isn't enough. So that's all I need to know. I hope this is good. 36 feels safe. It feels safe.
Not much left.
Dead Vesemir. Sometimes they just don't have it, guys. Well, there's a little relic action for you. I think that was pretty good. I think the main thing I wanted to showcase with this list was when you play Crones and Siri Nova, you have 2 massive, massive plays. Our draws weren't even that great. At the end, it looked really, really good. We got countered a lot of the way around there, too, so it wasn't even a sure thing until the very end. Having the Dead Vesemir was not bad. He had Mandrake in hand, which probably really pissed him off. So that's the idea, right? You got big plays in round 1 and big plays in round 2. Really hard to be put behind, but it can happen. It can happen. But you know, you're playing the Monsters Faction Challenge. You want to play some new stuff. Relict is interesting. It's an interesting piece. I'm happy with the performance. What can I say? I mean, it was just one game. I'll take it. I'll take it. I got lots of videos coming for you guys, and I'm climbing anyway. So there's going to be the quality of games. It varies a lot as you climb up into 4K. You're going to see all sorts of stuff, especially when you lag behind like me. I was away for a while. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching, my friends, and I'll see you later.